Hello YouTube. Today I bring a very short video. What we're gonna be talking about is about this Kubota RTV 900XT. It's a UTV. I wouldn't call it a side-by-side. This is more meant geared towards the utility market working. From Kubota. It has a 21.6 horsepower, 3-cylinder Kohler diesel engine. It has a hydraulic power steering, and it comes with a hydrostatic transmission. The reason I make this video today is just to show something that owners of this type of vehicle might have experienced. And the main thing is when you're driving, let's say you're going up a grade or you're driving even on a level land, you can't bring it up to speed. So there's something here in the exhaust. It's called the spark arrestor or detonation arrestor that you have in the exhaust. So what you do is you have two Allen bolts right there, left and right. You take them out, and then you pull out the spark arrestor. In this particular case, this is what I have. As you can see, let me come out here where there's some more light. It is pretty much caked in soot. That's supposed to be to have a cylindrical shape, a round shape like this, but just the pressure from the engine has forced it inward. It's totally damaged. Look at that. So the engine was barely breathing, and I hardly could move with the engine, even on level ground. I could barely make 5 miles an hour. So solution is to take it out, clean it, and put the spark arrestor back in there. Some people actually delete the spark arrestor. It's not recommended, especially if you have to go into the US Department of Agriculture lands or national parks, or you are somewhere like here in the prairie where it's pretty dry. It's not recommended to have that off, because then your engine breathes easier. But then if you have a spark coming from your engine or the exhaust system, it can get into the environment and start a fire. It's happened a couple of times. So this is a very important part to have on your UTV whenever you're using it. There's a website called Messick, MESSICK, and they carry a lot of parts for the Kubota series of UTVs. So I'll be ordering one of these from them. I think it should be about, it's gonna be just that unit right there, from where you have that gasket all the way down. It's about $24 to $26, I believe. So I'll be getting a replacement from them. Just a few things to show out here. You have the decal, that's about $9 from Messick. A known problem with these RTVs, the earlier ones, now you have a newer model with a different rear suspension system. But you see the link right there, the coupling, it's very well known to fail. It actually has a grease point, but because of access, many people neglect to grease it, so it ultimately fails, and that's what happened here. So while waiting for the parts, just took it out. You can see, just took it out, and then put the UTV in 4-wheel drive, and you can drive it along. Also, you have the bushings here that wear out very easily on the suspension, the rear suspension. So that's another thing to watch out for. You have the hydraulic takeout here, which you can use to power additional equipment like saws, spreaders, whatever you have. You just take out the lines, and then you can hook it up to your equipment. You have a tow hitch, very solidly built, as you can see. On the side, you have the decals. This is plastic. You see that? And it's held in place by these clips, plastic clips. I've lost one here. You can see the same thing. You see the gap. That's plastic. This one has the optional door. It doesn't make a very good fit. You know, there's a lot of draft that comes in through. It's not a tight fit, but it works, especially here where it gets super cold in winter. That's the optional heater that's been added, and we're up to about 8,238 hours. So if you have an RTV, there's something to note. If you put your key in the ignition and it's in the on position, even if the engine is not running, you will be accumulating hours. There's a fix for that, where you take one of these lights, you take it and hook it up to the hour meter. There's an empty slot there. You just power the hour meter from one of the switches here, and that will make sure that it doesn't count the hours if you're not running the engine. Interior, easy to get in, easy to exit. Ingress and egress is pretty easy. Some people have taken out this bar. Sorry about my seat, that will be redone. Some people take out this bar to just make it easier to get in and get out, but I find it useful. It's a good hand grip. You have the bed controls here, up, down, and then you have the rear differential. You can lock it by stepping on this while driving. You stop, then you step on it, and it locks the rear differential. And if you want to keep it locked, I believe you pull on here. I've hardly had to use that. What else? You have the wiper. What many people did not know was that the wiper is actually optional. So your RTV comes with 2 holes in the windshield, 3 holes, and you have to fit the wiper in there and bolt it up. You have the roll cage. Still needs a pretty good cleaning. Horn. And it has the heater. And the thing with the heater here, you have to be careful, because even when it's turned off, if you turn it on, it comes right on, and that could drain your battery, so watch out for that. In the center right here, you can see there is that big empty space you could put a speedometer in there. What some people have found out is you can actually jack the RTV. You can jack it up, and you have access to the hydrostatic transmission. There is actually a space in there for where you can tap and hook up the sensor for the speedometer. So you have to take it up pretty high, otherwise when you remove the plug that is in there, you'll lose a lot of your hydrostatic fluid, and it's very expensive. Here you have the external air intake. Always make sure this points downwards. It drains fluid if any water gets in there or liquid. You see, that's the intake right up here, and then it goes down like that, and there. You have your fuel cap. It uses diesel. Come to the front. Just remember, this is not for towing. It's not solid enough. You have to come lower somewhere here. I believe on this one in the back, that's where you can mount a winch, and that is where it's solid. But up here, if you try to pull too hard, you're gonna break it on these bull bars. So next thing we have to look at is under the hood. So you have the little box there for the heater. You have a stand to hold the hood up, and this is plastic, some kind of solid RTV dyed plastic, so you don't have to actually paint it. The plastic is dyed. A little bit of rough cuts right here, you can see from the factory. You can see the blade where they had to shape it, cut it down. The gear shift linkages, sorry again, it's quite dirty in here. And then you see there's a big space right there, which I believe some people use actually for storage. You can see the solid roll bar, how it comes down. I have some junk in there, I'll have to take it out, but I'll be power washing this the next couple of days. Not too much to worry about. Hydraulic fluid. Okay, we'll go back inside. A couple of things I forgot to show. So you have the door. I believe it had some kind of linkage there to hold it in place. The way you check the fluids on here, you hold the seat, pull it forward. Sorry again, it's quite dirty underneath here. This had an industrial application. Underneath, probably have to go on the driver's side. Okay, so underneath you have this flap. You take it up, and there you can see the first one is the coolant, radiator coolant, and the radiator is right here. It's protected by this mesh grill, and that's the overflow bottle. The next one, many people mistake that for the coolant. Actually, it's the power steering fluid, and as you can see, if it's whitish in color, oh, I think somebody changed this one. Yeah, if they put in the wrong fluid in there, it's gonna change in color and it will look milky. And then there's another tank. I believe that's the fuel tank right there with the senders on top. And then you have another radiator for the hydraulics, the transmission, all one nut. And then you have your seat belt. Put that back down. Here you can actually attach I believe Kubota sells some kind of metal grill that you can put on here to protect you from whatever you're carrying in the bag. So you have those tabs that you can use to attach. But we have a plastic protector there, shield. If up front also, you can open up the windshield using this. You slide it forward and you do it both sides, and you can have fresh air coming in if you're driving during very warm weather. You also have the sliding windows on the doors. So these are not very, like I said, it was an afterthought. You can see it's already broken there, and you can see the drilled right into it's an afterthought. It wasn't like supposed to be like this from the factory. They built it, then they figured out they need a door, and then they went ahead and designed something. But it works, keeps it warm in winter. All right, so pretty much that's what I have for you guys. If you have any of these diesel UTVs, check your spark arrestor regularly, all the time. Maybe every 50 hours or so of service. Take it out, check it out, and break off some of this soot. Nasty soot. All right, thanks for watching.